All right. Well, welcome back, everybody, to our Glory podcast, and we are glad to be with you. I know it's been a while. We took about a month off, I believe it was, Philip, from our podcast, and just took a break from it, and also had a little bit of technical difficulty that we had to get figured out, and so a couple things there. But we're very glad to be back with you. We really enjoy doing these, and we hope that it's helpful to you on a lot of things. And so this particular podcast is entitled What's Happening at Glory. I know that we've had several of those in the past, if you've kept up with that. And what's happening at Glory is basically what it says. I mean, we're going to try to give you information about things that are going on here at the church. Whether it be different ministries that are going on, activities, just everything that, we can think of. Sometimes what's happening at Glory is really, sometimes the podcast may just be about one thing that we're talking about. So, but today, Philip and I are going to try to let you be aware and kind of catch you up on everything that's going on. Man,
big summer ahead.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff going on, and so we'll try to fit that in without dragging this on too long. But if you don't know Philip is our youth pastor here at Glory, and we've been through all this before, Philip, with our history and everything, but it's still cool to think about that this month in June is when you and I started full time. Is it 5 or 6?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Okay. 5 years ago, Philip and I started full time together here at Glory. I was serving on a part-time basis before that, and then went full time, and man, it's been great.
Yeah, it's changed a lot in a hurry too, and the job looks so much different than it did before. But God's really blessed our church, and blessed the music ministry and the youth group, and our church as a whole at large. And so it's been pretty awesome to watch and get to be a big part of. So
yeah, that's right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into this today, and we're going to talk about several things here that will be going on here at Glory Fellowship. So hopefully, you can take this information and know when things are happening, and we want you to be a part of that. So really, starting off Wednesday, June the 5th, we have a members meeting at 6 o'clock. As most people know, we have a campus and building process that's going on. We've already started moving dirt, doing a lot of groundwork out back. We are basically out of space here, and we're looking at building a new worship center to hold more people.
And you may have noticed that already around back, just sort of as an announcement. If you come to our church and hadn't been here in the last week or so, our whole back entrance and all of our parking in the back is taken up right now. So if you come to church, and usually that's where you park or where your kids come in for youth events, and we're kind of maneuvering around a little bit different way. You got to come use the front entrances, and doing the best we can with that. But those are all closed off for a little while until they get some of that dirt work finished, and they're going to come back fairly soon, within the next month or so, I believe, right?
Right.
And have those back open. So
So our members meeting, which is not just for members. Now, only members can vote in the process, but everybody's still welcome to come. This Wednesday, June the 5th at 6 o'clock, we will have that, and that will be, talking a lot about the building and campus.
And where we are with that at this point.
Yeah.
Kind of next steps.
Yeah. So be a lot of that going on in that. Then on June the 9th, which is the upcoming Sunday, our Glory Kids Choir will be starting off the service and leading worship in both services. So that'll be at 9 and 10:30 on Sunday, and so we are excited about that, and really glad to see what's going on with our Glory Kids Choir. We've really tried to make some changes in that.
Right.
The last time that they led worship with a couple of songs, it was awesome.
Yeah. You could really see the effort they'd put into it, and it looked, I was really pleased with that. And that's another point of note. If you didn't know, that's changed to Wednesday nights when they practice. They typically had been on Sunday nights for the last several months, but for this summer, they're doing that on Wednesday nights. If you've not been familiar with that yet,
yeah. So definitely bring your children and be a part of that, because it is a wonderful thing. Also, on June the 9th, immediately following our second service, will be our Discovering Glory Luncheon. Philip, you want to talk a minute about that?
Yeah, so that's a beautiful time that we have for, we still continue to have visitors all the time at our church, which we're super pleased with. God's blessed us with new people that are gifted in a number of ways and that we're glad to see. But one of the things that we try to do is to have this Discovering Glory lunch, which is, first of all, an awesome free lunch that our Glory Kitchen team does. I'm always looking forward to it just because I know I'm going to get an awesome lunch.
Yeah, they do a great job.
But then what we do inside of that lunch is we sort of give you more information about our church, about how things operate here, what we believe. We'll do a tour of the church. I'll kind of guide you around the church and let you see what's going on in different places. We'll have a time of expectations, what you should expect from us if you're going to join our church as staff people and from the rest of our church, and what we are going to expect out of you, because we really take church membership seriously at our church. We tell people all the time, a lot of times what happens is you want to be a church member somewhere. You walk down the aisle and you say, I want to be a church member. They say, yeah, does everybody accept this? Yay. And then we clap our hands and we go on about our business. But at our church, we like to know you, and we like to let you know what you're getting into with us, a crazy group of folks like us. And we want to know more about you and see what you're going to get, we're going to get into with you. Yeah. And so we do that, and that's part of that. Before you become a member, we sort of lay that groundwork, and so that's what that lunch is for. And we're always a great time to learn, for them, for us to get to know you better, and so we're looking forward to it on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a really good time for the newer people to meet our staff,
right?
And you and I and Adam all will lead that. Michelle gets to come in there sometimes, and sometimes she doesn't, according to how many kids are present and everything. And so But, it's a very enjoyable time of getting to meet the folks on that.
And you can sign up for that in the app if you have not done that already. Or just let us know in some of the way. Just call the church. So,
yeah. June 20th through the 24th, you guys are going to be going to MFuge.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Our students are always real pumped about this. So one of the things this is our camp. And for a lot of times in summer camp, that's just a time for everybody to have a good time, learn about Jesus, and do their own thing. But the difference in what we do at camp when we go to MissionFuge is for 4 hours every day, our students are on a mission site learning how to serve Jesus. And that can look a lot of different ways. So every time we go, we really don't know exactly what we're going to do until we get there. They've sort of said what they're interested in, but once we get there, it can be different things. But they may be playing with kids in a public park and trying to find ways to evangelize them and tell them about Jesus. They may be, painting the neighborhood YMCA. Mm-hmm. They might be helping somebody out at their home. There's just a variety of things that they do to serve people and to serve the Lord through that. And so, but that's happening. Of course, there are the other things going on. There's going to be messages from really talented pastors. There's going to be a camp pastor there all weekend. They're going to meet with people of their age and study the Bible through different various things. And but it's always a big game-changing weekend for us. It's a time where our group grows closer together. They go closer to the Lord. And we always come back from it a little bit more resolute about doing the things that God's called us to do.
Right.
And so we're really excited about that. We're going to Ridgecrest, North Carolina. Went a few years ago, and our kids loved it the most out of all that we've been to so far. So headed back there and up in the mountains near Asheville, and everybody's really excited about it.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Now, for MFuge, is that right that that's the sixth graders? Are they coming up?
Sixth graders can do that. I think a lot of this time, for the first time, a lot of our, because we've been going to CentriKid, which is another thing we're going to talk about, our third grade through sixth grade kids have always been able to go to our upcoming third grade through our outgoing sixth grade.
Yes, right.
Have always been able to go, but typically we've used this as our sixth graders being able to move up to seventh grade and go with us, and it'd be a real coalescing thing for them to be with us all week. But most of them this time have decided to go to CentriKid because They want to be the big dog on camp.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah.
They want to enjoy being the older ones at camp, and they have some different special experiences for the older ones at Century Kids. So they've decided to do that, and so we're excited for them too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's great. I know that's an awesome time, and y'all really enjoy that. So moving right along, June 28th through the 30th will be our Century Kids. Now that's really Michelle that goes and is in charge of all that. But you just mentioned that's our second graders through our outgoing sixth graders.
Right.
That go to Century Kid. Do you know where they're going?
They're going to
year?
Chaco Springs.
Chaco
We've been
Springs,
going to
that's
Kentucky
right.
the last few years, and so they're going to be a little bit closer here in Alabama, and just for a weekend.
Yeah.
And so it's a good time for them to learn, but also they don't have to be too far away from home for some of those parents that are a little anxious and student kids that are a little anxious. So it's a good thing for them to be closer this time.
So already, as you can see, we've got several things going on this month. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to something that's going to be happening in July, actually. But the reason I want to do that is because we want to talk a little bit about signing up on the app, on things. But save the date. Save the dates. July 15th through the 18th is our Vacation Bible School from 5:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. Each evening. It is one of the highlights of the year for our church family. It is just a wonderful time of our church family being together and everybody working together, and from babies all the way up to our older adults. Right. It's everybody here and just a great time.
Yeah. It does something for the unity of our church to see so many people working for the same purpose of serving kids and serving the Lord in that way, and seeing what God's going to do with that effort. And it's always an amazing thing. Just it feels good to be with our people.
It does,
and for them to be together.
Yeah.
But also to watch God work in the middle of it. So.
Yeah. Every year it is. It's just a wonderful time. But we want to go ahead and mention that because what we're doing right now is. We've got it available to sign up to volunteer. And, you know, if you know anything about Vacation Bible School, we need all the volunteers that we can get. Yeah. We have a ton of kids that show up. And but not only that, we just want you to have the availability and to be able to serve. And so go to our app, sign up there. And Michelle will be able to get in touch with you and kind of figure out, you know, where your strength is or where you're needed to be able to serve. So we really encourage you to go do that. We're trying to have every, you know, place available for sign-up. So we also have some sign-up sheets that are in the care groups that they've been talking about, and that's another easy way. But we're focusing on the app right here.
Right. And it's really simple. If you've never had to do that before, it's a 2-click process. You open the app. There's the sign up is one of the first things you see. You click sign up and you find the thing you want to sign up for, click on it, and then you're able to put in your information immediately. So don't be intimidated by that if you've never done it before. It's not a hard thing.
No, I mean, it will literally take you, 30 seconds.
Right.
I mean, it's very simple. So keep that in mind, and we encourage you to do that. June 22nd, we have our Glory Men's event. That'll be a Saturday. Like I said, the 22nd. It's from 9 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. that day, and we are really excited about that. Speaking of the app, we encourage all of our guys to sign up on the app. We will be providing lunch. So we really need to know a number, get close to the number that we're going to have.
A jam up awesome lunch, P.S.
Yeah, so that we'll know, how many to provide for. But I know it's one of those things where everybody's busy, a lot going on. Some people will be on vacation. It's on a Saturday in June, but we really encourage all of our guys to make an effort to be there. I was telling some folks the other day, we have some men here that the men's ministry is very important because it's how they got acclimated into the church.
Right.
They got to know other people.
Yeah, found their people,
all that kind of stuff. And so it's a big deal.
Right.
I'm excited about it because we've got our own folks who are going to be leading the sessions.
Yeah.
And some of those folks, some of our guys have probably never heard from before because it's some of our care group leaders. They're not in their care
groups. Yeah.
Yeah. And so really excited about that. Eric Thompson will be coming to lead worship that day. We're excited. If you know Eric, he does a wonderful job.
Tremendous.
And so he'll be coming that day. We'll have time for some small groups and testimony, and time for fellowship, just to get to sit around and talk and, hopefully get to know some guys that you may not know here at our church. But the big part of it is about discipleship.
Right.
We're going to be, the focus of the day is out of Psalm 119.
Yeah.
And it's
that's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. We won't go over all of Psalm 119. If you're familiar with Psalm 119, it's pretty long, but we are going to be hitting parts of it. And the theme for the day is called The Word and the Way. And so we're just really excited about that and invite our guys to really make an effort to be there and encourage everybody to do that. So June 22nd from 9 to 2.
Randy, at a lot of churches, they'll say, we're going to kind of tone it down in the summer because there's just people are busy in the summer and whatever. But for whatever reason, we found that we're busier as a church in the summer because people are here.
Yeah.
People, their lives actually get less busy in the summer. People slow down a little bit because the stuff that's associated with schools, especially in my world, it calms down and people have a little bit more time. So,
that's right.
So we don't pump the brakes in the summer. There's lots going on, lots for you to be a part of, and we want to continue to serve the Lord all the way through the summer.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. That's a good point. Couple of other things here. I want to go ahead and jump to this too, and just go ahead and say it. And we're going to be talking a lot about it coming up, but also signing up on the app. You'll be able to do that for our Glory Marriage Conference, which will be coming up August the 17th and the 18th. I want you to go ahead and save those dates because we are really looking forward to that. That I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that because we're going to have a whole separate, podcast about that. But August 17th and 18th, put that on your calendar, and we look forward to seeing everybody there. You want to mention again about the Glory Crew and the kids choir on Wednesday night?
So just a little bit of a structure change for how we do things throughout the summer. We're trying to give a break to our RA and GA teachers, many of whom have been serving for a decade or longer, teaching our RA and GA kids. And so Michelle has decided to give them some rest, I think, very wisely, and they're grateful for that. And so throughout the summer, we won't have our normal RAs and GAs on Wednesday night. Instead, our normal Sunday night activities have moved to Wednesday for our children. So the kids that are in choir are going to choir on Wednesday nights, and they're going, the kids that are older, going into 3rd grade through 6th grade, are going to our Glory Crew, which is a more specialized event that Michelle puts on every week with some volunteers. And we're actually feeding them every week.
That's right.
There's pizza available each week, and they have to get here, I believe, at 5:30 to do that. So we'll feed them every week, and then they'll go into their times of study and choir on Wednesday nights. And so different change, but I think needed, and the kids are excited to be a part of those other things as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's going to be a good thing. Well, we have covered a lot.
That's right.
So you don't have to go into a lot of detail about every single thing, but you want to kind of just give an overview of what's kind of going on with youth this summer? Sure.
We're pumped about it. We got a lot of new kids coming up, and a lot of our older kids are still hanging out with us for the summer before they go on and do their things as they growing up. And but every Wednesday night we're doing our normal stuff, except we're adding in some big group games outside. The first one is chicken bucket ball. So you can look that up if you want to. That's happening this Wednesday. And, of course, I'm going to continue finishing up the book of Mark. We've gone almost through the whole book. together. So it's pretty cool for the kids to have, if they've been here a little while, they've studied a whole book together here in one of the Gospels. So they've had the length of the story, and we've got other stuff going on. We've got a lake day this Sunday. We're going whitewater rafting late in the summer. We'll be at camp. We're doing a number of things. Our kids will be all invested in VBS, helping in different ways. We're going to do some outreach stuff before VBS gets here to try to put them on mission here in Jasper. And so, we're wide open, and we'd love to see if you got a kid in that age bracket that wants to break in. Summer's a great time to do it. It's a little more relaxed and less intimidating. Our kids will be good to them, and we'd love to see them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds great. Well, we have given you a lot of information about some things that are going on here at our church that we are very excited about, and we want you to be a part of it. And so, make sure that you're signing up for all of these things. We try to get the information out in a variety of ways. If you've noticed, Phil and I looking at some paper here on the table, this is actually the What's Happening at Glory newsletter. Those are in all the care group classes, and they're on an email list, and we have the slides and that are up front.
We have them on the screens in the foyer, and we have them on the screens in the service. And
we use social media.
You can go in the app and look for the announcements on the app.
Right. So, we encourage you to be active in, finding out the information that's going on within our church, because there's a variety of ways that you can find out that information. And so we thought a podcast would be another way to get it out there. So please sign up for all of these things. Get involved in our church family. The more that you're involved, the more you're going to feel connected to the church family, and so that's a very important thing. But, well, Phil, thanks for doing this with me today.
Glad to do it.
Yeah.
Glad to talk with everybody.
Yeah, that's right. And so we hope that this has been helpful to you. As always, thanks for joining us, and that's what's happening at Glory.